It was a cold, wintry day, November, in a little town called Edumeli in Kerala. Abdullah Khoya, the head priest, the Maulvi of the Wabar Juma Masjid in Edumeli, gets up at about 4 o'clock. And the first thing he does is to recite the Basmala, which is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. He goes and then performs a ritual ablution, cleaning his nostrils, his mouth, his hands, his feet, etc. And then he steps into the Juma Masjid, the Wabar Juma Masjid. And there he recites the Azan. Allahu Akbar Allah, he says. And then he says, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammadun Rasulullah, which says, I bear witness that there is no other God except Allah, and there is Muhammad who is his only messenger. And then the faithful storm to the masjid and they perform the Fajr, the early morning namaz. Once that's over, he goes to his home, takes a bath, and then he goes to a temple which is located directly opposite to that masjid, and it's called the Shasta Temple. There he goes, removes his shirt, and with a bare chest, he says, Swamiye Sharanam Iyyappan, and he prostrates in front of the Shasta deity, the deity of Sharanam Iyyappan over there. And then he goes about his normal life. In Tamil Nadu, which is a neighboring state, in a little village near Pondicherry or Puducherry, Sulochana Amma goes to a Mariamman temple. A Mariamman temple is a Hindu temple dedicated to Shakti. She goes and she prays. She prays that Mariamman, the Hindu god, should bless her to undertake her annual pilgrimage to Our Lady of Velankani, a Christian cathedral which is located close by. A little south of that Pondicherry is the birthplace of one of the greatest sons of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who, born in a fisherman family, rose to become the president of this country. Right now, there is a museum there. And one of his prized possessions in that museum is a statue of Saraswati Devi, a Hindu god for knowledge, and also Veena, which is the instrument of Saraswati Devi. A little above these two places is a place called Dharmasthala. Dharmasthala in Karnataka is famous for its Manchunada temple, a temple which is run by Vaishnavites. But, however, the temple is managed by the Hegde family, who belongs to the Jain community. Little up in the north, in the state of Rajasthan, we have Bansilal, who suddenly finds his daughter shivering in fever. His wife says, take her to the doctor. Before taking her to the doctor, Bansilal waits for a minute and prays to the Dargah of Khwaja Muhyiddin Chishti in Ajmer, saying that if his daughter becomes alright, he will come and do a special prayer in the Dargah of Khwaja Muhyiddin Chishti. Friends, this is Captain Muthukrishnan, and welcome to Captain's Comment, where we analyze the headlines with hard history and hard facts. The context of this video is this talk which is given by the failed general or the current Field Marshal Munir, who is the Chief of Army of Pakistan. Please listen to this clip.
Our forefathers thought that we are different from the Hindus in every possible aspect of life. Our religion is different. Our customs are different. Our traditions are different. Our thoughts are different. Our ambitions are different. That was the foundation of the two-nation theory that was laid there. That we are two nations. We are not one nation.
He says Hindus and Muslims can never be together. And he makes a very strong cause, albeit a totally stupid cause, for the separation, alienation, and complete ostracization of these communities. Let us look at that from an Indian perspective. Friends, if there are two things that a person would ever go to any extent to defend, that's race and religion. Unfortunately, in the context of India and Pakistan, both race and religion plays a part. But however, when Pakistan was created as the second ever place for Muslims after Medina, India remained what it is. India said that we will not become an exclusive community for Hindus. So can Hindus and Muslims be together? Let us look at this. There is this very interesting speech by Bilawal Bhutto in United Nations. Listen to this.
We pride ourselves, we in Pakistan pride ourselves that we're the heirs of the Indus Valley civilization. And Mohenjo-daro is a stone throw away from my constituency back home. India also prides itself that they're the heirs of the Indus Valley civilization. So we should act as heirs of the Indus Valley civilization and not as how we have been acting. One of the most incredible things about the Indus Valley civilization is that with all the archaeology that's gone on, we've not found a single weapon at all. The great advancements they had, urban planning, agriculture, water distribution, even sewerage and things. Not a single weapon. How far we've come from our roots. That an Indus Valley civilization, which didn't have a single weapon, is now armed to the teeth. And I have full faith that whatever the Indian government says, the people of India, majority of the people of India are peace-loving people. They want peace with Pakistan. The majority of people in my country want peace. So my delegation will be pursuing those aspirations of our people. Thank you.
So he says that both India and Pakistan derive their legacy from the Indus Valley civilization. Both of us are proud of our legacy. Both of them claim the Indus Valley civilization as their own. But however, while Pakistan can claim the legacy of it, India lives the legacy of Indus Valley civilization. Now, why? First, you need to know the thought process and why India is probably the only country in the world which has given rise to four major religions in the world, four major religions, and still there is absolute communal harmony. The Hinduism, the Jainism, the Buddhism, and the Sikhism, four major religions started in India. And then came the Parsis, the Zoroastrian religions from the Iran, who came to India and we embraced them. When the Christians came, we embraced them too. And when the Islam came to India, we again embraced them. One of the earliest mosques ever built outside the Gulf, outside Arabia, was in India, in Kerala, where you can still see this. It's more than 1,000-year-old mosque. One of the first place where the apostle of Jesus Christ went was not to the Middle East, but to India, where St. Thomas came. So therefore, India, by and large, right from time antiquity, was known for its acceptance not just tolerance. And you know why? Because India's philosophy is not based on a belief system. It is based on seeking the truth and not believing. The ultimate aim of an Indian after his death is not to go to a Swarga, because even in Swarga you have the Devatas who can be killed. In various fights with Rakshasas, you've seen that the Devatas are killed. But the ultimate goal of every person who was born in India is to attain salvation, to get away from the cycle of birth and death, and not to live in a paradise forever, but to get united with the nature, with the universe. When they say that your Atma, Jivatma, gets united with the Paramatma. If there is a belief system, then there can be fight. I can say that I believe in this God, you don't believe in this God, so let's go and fight to see which God is better. But when I say that I don't know if this God is the best, but I just follow, if you think that your God is best, no problem, I'll come and seek it. That's how Indians were able to assimilate the practices of various religious practices to them. Let me give an example. When you go to South, where there's not much of influence of Islamic invasion, we go to a temple, you take away your shirt, because it says that whenever you go to a deity who is much superior to you, you show the reverence to the deity by removing the Anga Vastra, which is the Vastra, which is the clothes which is on your Anga. And that's been there. I'm not going to defend or I'm not going to decry this practice, but this is a practice. When Islamic rulers and invaders came, they brought in their practices. And an Islamic practice of namaz means you need to cover your head, your entire body, and then do namaz. And therefore, if you see the pujas in the North India, you will see the Yajamana, or the person who is doing the puja, the Upasaka, wears a cap and a complete dress when doing the pujas. This is how we could assimilate all these practices into India. Let's look at the Indian system. Where is there a discrimination? I'm going to give you some names which shows how Indians excel irrespective of their religions. I'm going to give you examples from the military, which is my favorite, the political and the business ecosystem. So therefore, if you look at the military, then you have the chiefs of army, starting from Field Marshal Manekshaw, who is a Zoroastrian. We have General Rodriguez, who is a Christian. We have General Joginder Singh, who is a Sikh. We even have Air Chief Marshal Idris Hassan, who is a Muslim. We have 3 Muslim presidents, Dr. Zahir Hussain, Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. And one of the best presidents we ever had was Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and he was a Muslim. We had Gyani Jain Singh, who was a Sikh, and we still say that India is intolerant for other religions and Hindus and Muslims can never be together. A statement from the failed general and the promoted Field Marshal Munir. Let's look at business. Dilip Sanghvi is a Jain. Mukesh Ambani, of course, you know, is a Hindu. We have Azim Premji, a Muslim. Paloji Misri is a Parsi. Friends, what more do you want to say that Hindus and Muslims and Christians and Parsis and Jains and Buddhists and Sikhs, if all of them should be living happily together, there's only one place in this world, which is India. And therefore, I think it is time that we embrace this pluralism, because that is what India is famous for. I'm going to conclude today's talk with this beautiful couplet from Iqbal. सारे जगह से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा, हम बुलबुले हैं इसमें ये गुलिस्तान हमारा. Remember, Gulistan happens only when there are multiple flowers. If it is just roses, or if it is just lotus, or if it is just jasmine, it doesn't become a Gulistan. It becomes a plantation, not a garden. Thank you very much. I look forward to meet you in the next episode of Captain's Comment. Till then, Jai Hind.